Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Camnet Midday News. My name is Amazing Katamanda. The headlines. PF member CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI claims to be the right person to take over party presidency. Government challenged to state its position on National House of Prayer.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the ministry.
There's so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
Thank you for staying with us in other news in detail. Some residents of Lusaka's Kawata constituency have complained over the non-collection of garbage at Kawata Market Hall. They say this is despite paying the garbage collection fees to the Lusaka City Council. More in this report.
Despite Zambia having the Waste Management Unit, WMU, which is the regulatory unit for waste management in the country, mandated to plan, organize, execute and supervise waste management services, most residential areas in the country have excess garbage that have accumulated and as such poses a serious health threat to the health of the citizenry. Recently, the Ministry in charge of health recorded cases of cholera that was brought about by poor sanitation and hygiene in most residential areas. In Lusaka's Kawata constituency market, excess garbage has accumulated, hence making it inhabitable for members of the public. We took time to interview some residents who have bemoaned the non-collection of garbage at Kawata Community Hall. They lamented that despite paying the Lusaka City Council garbage collection levy, very little has been done to eradicate this challenge.
Staying here around Community Hall, they've stopped coming and collect the garbages. And look at the way it looks, it's not healthy. And there is a change.
Meanwhile, some congregants who fellowship in the same hall at the Prophetic Shalom Ministries Church have expressed concerns over the bad odor produced from the garbage.
Affected by this bin because it is near to our church, as you can see, and it is smelling. In fact, even the smell itself goes inside the church, and our members are complaining. Even the Sunday school children, as you can see, they also complain that the smell is too bad. So we are just asking for the council management to please do something concerning this bin because it is not good for our health, especially for the young ones. You can see actually they are even having Sunday school.
A lot of diseases. Remember, this is the season. It's the season for corona. So inani kanikambo chita chikambo kundu is affect abantu bambiri because of the chibini shiri hapa. So kufanika tristi tipempako kuliwa kanso batitandizireko kuvicho sako hivi.
Messi Chanika reporting, Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
The National House of Prayer has become a white elephant as construction works which started 8 years ago now stirred. The Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia Executive Director Bishop Andrew Mwenda has urged the United Party for National Development Administration to give its position on the House of Prayer. Reverend Mwenda has suggested that once completed, the House of Prayer should be given to the church to run it.
Former Zambia's Republican President Edgar Lungu declared 18th October as the day of prayer, fasting, repentance and reconciliation. However, in the past, this day could not live up to its expectation as we had a divided Christian community, including those for individuals. And politicians were holding on to their grudges and could not converge and forgive each other, and most of all, there was too much.
The hypocrisy, where people say good things and they do bad things.
Yes, hypocrisy, where we saw others praying while others were being blocked by the police from visiting the prisons to mark the day of prayer. Meanwhile, it has been 8 years ever since the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of the new cathedral, the National House of Prayer, in Lusaka was held. Up to date, only these structures can be seen, and no one has opted to inform the nation as to why the project has stalled. Financial accounts were created in 2015 for people to contribute towards its construction, but no one has bothered to inform the nation how much was raised and utilized. Well, President Hakainde Hichilema and his administration, since taking over office, have not communicated anything on the House of Prayer and Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia. EFZ Executive Director Bishop Andrew Mwenda is seeking government stance on the matter.
Of the Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia. So as EFZ, we're still waiting for the ministry, the director of Ministry of National Guidance and Religious Affairs to call us and tell us what's the way forward. Since then, we don't know who is leading it, who is going to do what. We still are waiting for him. My suggestions are very simple. As EFZ is, maybe say much more, maybe as myself, is that I think there should be a way, we must find a way to complete that building. It will not be the best idea to leave it the way it is for a long time.
Bishop Mwenda also made recommendations.
Prefer that when the building is complete, it should be handed over to the church in particular for management. And the church can easily see how they can manage it and manage it profitably.
Meanwhile, Council of Churches in Zambia General Secretary Father Emmanuel Chikoya says they were not consulted before the project commenced and tells us that it is a lesson on the need to ensure consensus on national matters.
So we've had that kind of history that first we were not consulted, we were thought of as an afterthought, and one or two other mother bodies were thought of as an afterthought. You cannot undertake buildings of that nature and you neglect very critical stakeholders in the process. I hope we've learned a lesson, so that no matter how long it takes, it's better to labor through, to discuss until consensus is built, so that whatever it is that comes as a product is owned. And so I want to categorically state that we are for prayer, and we've always been involved in prayers in this country.
And Father Chikoya suggested different views on how the facility can be managed.
Look at the management, the nitty-gritties of how that huge facility will be handled. It's better left to the Directorate of Chaplaincy because it will be more efficient. It can still be open for use by other stakeholders, but there will be clear people that are able to manage, sustain it, as opposed to having this non-denominational facility that could have challenges. Facilities like Heroes Stadium could be a wake-up call. Look at the maintenance, and even Levy itself, look at the maintenance. And so when you create orphaned institutions, it becomes a challenge.
By broadcast time, our efforts to get the stance of the Religious Affairs Directorate could not materialize. Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
Opposition Patriotic Front member Chishimba KAMBWILI says he is the right person to lead the party because he carries its vision. In an interview, Dr. KAMBWILI, who is one of the party's presidential aspirants, feels he is democratically obligated to take over the leadership of the party, which lost power to the United Party for National Development during the August 12, 2021 general elections.
As the Patriotic Front Party is racing against time to host its elective general conference to elect the party president to take over from former Republican and party president Edgar Lungu after he relinquished the party post, PF presidential aspirant CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI feels he is democratically obligated to take over the leadership of the party, which lost power to the United Party for National Development in August 2021. And even though reports have indicated that the opposition political party has failed to meet its 5 million kwacha budget to host the convention, which would see the ushering of a new party president, Dr. KAMBWILI says the convention will definitely take place, and despite him holding the view that he is the right person to lead the party, he leaves it all to party members to make that decision.
The convention will definitely come, and when the convention comes, my feeling is that today PF is in a situation where we are because of just uncertainty. We've lost a few members who are not patient because of uncertainty of who is the future president, substantive president for that matter. And I feel that once the convention is held, the president is elected, whether CHISHIMBA, KAMBWILI or anybody, people will unite behind that person who's going to be elected. And I think what you are seeing as squabbles will definitely come to an end.
Meanwhile, Dr. KAMBWILI, who claims to have a lot of experience and vision on where to take Zambia, says once he is elected as the party leader, he will ensure that he ushers back the party into power and help address the sufferings that majority Zambians are facing.
When you aspire, you always think you are the right person. But the onus is on the people who are going to elect the president to lead the party. You expect me to say that I'm not the right person? Why am I aspiring if I'm not the right person? You know, but even Emmanuel Mwamba would say he's the right person. Even given Luwinda would say is the right person. That is why we need the convention, for the people to go and say, as far as we are concerned as PF, this is the man that we want. Proactivity and not being reactive. Proactivity and not being reactive. Pro-poor and not being capitalist.
PF Acting President Given Luwinda, former Information Minister CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI, PF Chairman for Legal Affairs Brian Mundiwile, and former Ambassador to Ethiopia Emmanuel Mwamba are some of the party presidential hopefuls. The party is currently rebranding after losing the 12 August 2021 general elections to the current administration. The former ruling party has said that it is instilling discipline in the party and doing away with hooliganism. Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
All People's Congress Party leader Nason Musoni has labeled the All People's Congress Party leader Nason Musoni has labeled the United Party for National Development treacherous for allegedly abandoning its alliance partners. Mr. Musoni has cautioned the United Party for National Development against trivializing the formation of political alliance among opposition political parties.
The attempt by the opposition political parties to forge an alliance or to work together, our unsolicited view, or view, is that it's a dangerous political estimation to underestimate a political alliance, especially if you yourselves were a product of a political alliance. It is not a secret that the PF lost elections in August 2021 because they had similarly underestimated the UPND alliance. They said it was an alliance of jokers. They said it was an alliance of briefcase political parties. What happened? They lost political power. So for you, who are a product of a political alliance, you start making such statements that they're political jokers. Muzadabwa. And especially when you have betrayed the very people that came to you at the weakest point. You betray such people, such leaders, such alliance partners. It is being politically myopic. Where we are going, the game is going to get tough. It will get very tough. Bear in mind. Bear in mind that you have betrayed your comrades, your colleagues that came for you when you needed friends.
That item brings us to the end of our Camnet Media News, but before we go, we take a look at the stories that made the headlines. PF member CHISHIMBA KAMBWILI claims to be the right person to take over party presidency. Government challenged to state its position on National House of Prayer. Those are the stories that we had for you. Thank you for joining us. My name is Amazing Hatamanda. Good afternoon.